All right, folks, let's chat. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you back. This video is going to be a little bit different this time. This is an update on the barn restoration, and so I'm going to be doing a little bit more talking than normal. The plan is to show clips of kind of just me working on the tractor and things like that, just to kind of break it up. I've always had my best conversations with people when I'm working, and so perhaps this is an attempted simulation of that. Happy New Year, everybody. Whee! Looks like fun. You going next? One good thing about living on a hill, good sledding. Hoping and praying that the new year will find you guys better than last year. Okay, so I'm going to be putting in some diesel treat into the tractor. It's going to help with the summer diesel fuel that was put in here. It's got paraffin in it, which in the summer kind of helps lubricate things. At least that's my understanding. And then in the winter, though, it can gum up because of the cold weather. So we're going to put in some diesel treat. First things first, why am I doing an update video on the barn restoration? Well, the simple answer is because there hasn't been anything in a few weeks on the barn restoration per se. When I made those first 3 videos, that was during the summer of 2020, and then the videos were released in the fall, and then they kind of stopped. And they've been getting a lot of response, and so I thought maybe now would be a good time to give you an update as to what is happening. So the purpose of this video is to kind of tell you where I'm at, what I'm doing. I do want to give some context to kind of help everyone. So we have made some videos at the very beginning of this channel that sort of explain our context. You'll be able to see those, I don't know, they come up on the screen somehow. So that's a good place to start if you're kind of wondering what our channel is about and what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so that is valuable, and I would encourage people to watch those. Those are our earliest videos. I want to give you some additional context. My vocation is a middle school shop teacher, and I've been a teacher for, this is my 11th year. I lead students in the process of making things. We use the shop, and it's super fun. I love doing it. I love it because I love working with my hands, and I like working with the students. Especially middle school students, because they are a particular breed of human. And if any of you remember the days of middle school, you know what I'm talking about. And so it makes life interesting, for better or for worse. Again, so being that I am a teacher and that is my primary vocation at the moment, time spent on the barn is going to be limited. It's just the nature of it. He wants to cuddle today for some reason. I'm gonna have to put him down. Can't carry a camera and hold you at the same time. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Okay. Yeah, this still needs to get all cleaned up. Well, there's a little bit left. Not much. Yeah, that's empty too. So I am trying to put out a video a week, but it's not always going to be, in particular, a barn restoration video. Okay, enough with the context. Hopefully you found that helpful. We're gonna move on. Let's talk some updates specifically for the barn restoration. So the next step in the barn, in order to get access up to the top of the barn, we are gonna have to reinforce these floors make sure what we're walking on up there is safe. And so that's going to take some bracing, some posts, some all sorts of stuff. Ooh, you can see the scarf joint right there. That's cool. I mean, all these floors are in real rough shape. This is the worst part, of course. That one's not so bad back there. That's terrible. There's some flex to these. They're bowing, and so they are still not bad though, considering. There's still a lot of cleanup to do. So the bottom level is relatively clear. There's still one more bay that I need to get my stuff out of. But other than that, it is clear of the junk. Now it's the second level that is the level that I need to get clear. The problem that I'm running into on that is that the floors are terrible. That middle beam is completely out. It's essentially floating by that beam is upright in the middle. That's all that's holding it up. So any walking above that area would be a very dangerous situation. Yeah, so a lot of factors going on here. There's water coming in. You can see the ice where it's freezing. That sill's rotted. That joint, therefore, is popped out. Everything's getting pushed this way. This is leaning that way. So we need to get... So in one of the books I'm reading, they talk about how observation and really getting a good look at what's going wrong is the key to success, which, I guess it makes sense, right? It's common sense. But you really got to understand kind of the forces at play, obviously, and really understand what the building is doing so that you can fix it. Because if you fix the wrong part, it'll probably create more problems. All of my suspicions, I think, are true. So the hill's pushing it. Water's intruding on that backside here, which is causing issues. Obviously, we live in Minnesota. And because of those, I think that maybe those are the two main factors. The hill and water. I don't want to kill myself doing this barn restoration. So the next task on this is to get all of those floors secured and to make sure that I can walk up there. The plan will be once that's done, then I'm going to get probably a 40-yard roll-off dumpster. We'll get it in right next to the barn, and we're just going to dump all the stuff. And I'll keep what I think is valuable. I am kind of a hoarder, so I might not fill up the dumpster. I don't know. And so once that's clean, then it's on to the next thing. One of the other next steps that I'm going to be taking is on the financial side of things and figuring out a way to help fund this barn restoration because, guys, I'm a teacher. I don't have money and piles of cash laying around. And so it's going to be really important. There is an avenue for the financial side of things, obviously. We don't want to go into debt doing this. And so looking into grants and that sort of thing to preserve, historical buildings, because this is a historical dairy barn. And one of my contacts is a guy who lives in Iowa, and he has done many barn restorations around Iowa. And he was telling me about a process that Iowa has to apply for a grant to help fund a restoration. Now, we're up in Minnesota, and so the rules are different, and in my little bit of research right now, it's not looking promising for a grant. So if anybody has information or lives in Minnesota and knows what grants like that I can apply for or things like that, let me know. So one of the other things that I've been doing that is off camera, and it's not something that you guys would be watching anyway, and maybe this is a context thing, is all of the books that I'm reading. And so I'm just going to run through some of the stuff that I've been doing or reading. I'll start with this one because this one is the most relevant. I mean, they're all relevant, but this one is Renovating Barns, Sheds and Outbuildings by Nick Engler. And this is a gold mine of information. I am about that far into it, but There are things I need to reread to really get familiar with it, but this is really good stuff. And so if any of you out there are thinking about restoring your barns, I highly suggest this book by Nick Engler. Really, really good stuff. Okay, this one I started reading as well. A Timber Framer's Workshop. What I love about this guy, Steve Chappell, is he kind of paints this really almost poetic view of timber framing. If you are the kind of person like me who likes to make things, you love to read about other people who love their craft, this is the guy. This is really good stuff. So I am just jumping into this one, but this one is also highly recommended just because he's passionate, man. The next one, Timber Frame Construction. This one has really good information in it. You know, and this stuff is starting from new construction, but it's still good to understand how the timber frames come together, right? And so that's the purpose. And I would like to dabble in new timber frame construction myself at some point in the near future. I just finished this one. This one's really good information, really practical, really awesome pictures. And, you know, I'm a visual learner, and so this was really helpful. And they even give you plans for building like a 12 by 16. And so I will be doing one of these plans for a future project on the channel. This is by Will Beamer, and he runs a school. Okay, now masonry has always intimidated me, but I got 2 books. Building Stone Walls has really good information in it. I started reading this one, haven't finished it yet. This is by John Vivian. And the second book on masonry is The Art of the Stonemason. And this is by Ian Cram. Don't know if I pronounced that right. But, again, I haven't jumped into this one yet, so I don't know how this one is, but I'm sure it's got great information. The reason I'm going through those is because I don't know. I mean, I do know that I am going to keep lots of that foundation, the good parts of it, and so that all needs to get repointed and everything like that. But the really crumbled down, severe parts of the foundation that you guys saw, that stuff, I'm not sure if I'm going to rebuild that to match the rest of the barn, or if I'm going to put in a block foundation or even pour something. So that's all in the future for future decisions. People have an amazing capacity to learn. And those who are experts right now didn't used to be experts. They had to go from non-expert to expert. They had to learn, they had to work, they had to make mistakes, they had to experience. And I tell this to my kids all the time. Experience oftentimes is going to be your best teacher. Now obviously you want to avoid major mistakes, but oftentimes we need to go and do an experience, and that becomes our best teacher in many situations. The idea that your brain is flexible, that your brain is able to learn new things, is what gives me an optimistic outlook on this barn restoration. Books are an amazing mountain of knowledge. People's lifetimes have been locked into the pages of books, and that is an incredible thing. And if you think about that, a lot of that expertise comes from the books. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great week. I hope you all have a great new year, 2021. Come on, let's go. So thank you for watching. If you have lasted this long, congratulations, and we'll see you on the next one.